6 years ago, I found out that in the City of Sydney, businesses had the right to vote, and I didn't know that. All the 25 years that I was in business then, it was the first time I found out 6 years ago. So that started my political career in 2012 when I ran for City Council, and everybody said I couldn't do it because I ran as an independent, but I did. And then again in 2016. So being in council now 6 years has been very important. It means I can help people locally, but small businesses all around New South Wales need help. And the only way I can do that is to move into state government. So that's why I decided to set up a new party called the Small Business Party to fight and speak for small businesses everywhere. Whether it's local or state or federal, always government is behind a small business. This has been a very tough time for business. In general terms, big businesses hitting bad, but small business even more tough. We've got energy prices that are confusing our small businesses because they're so expensive now to run our businesses. We have how much work we have to spend doing paperwork all the time when we either should be running our business or even spending time with our families. Then we have things like payroll tax that eats up so much. The tax system, the New South Wales tax system, penalises our small businesses. So we have to pay twice as an employer, and that's terrible for our profit and our bottom line. This is a big problem for small businesses in New South Wales. Then we look at other taxes. So payroll tax is a big one, but land tax also affects our business owners. People think it's just people that own property that pay the land tax. It's not. Land tax gets passed down to tenants. So our small businesses who pay more rent because of land tax. Even people who rent homes pay more rent because of land tax. These things are unfair. And then we look at things like stamp duty. Stamp duty is a big cost for families, and young people want to buy a house. Getting into the market is difficult. If we could lower our stamp duty costs, it would make it more affordable for our young people to buy a house. So I think the Chinese community in small business faces the same as any other diverse area. So the communications from government to small business, it's not very clear. And there are so many rules. There are 6,000 new regulations every year in government that come into a small business life. Nobody can keep up with this, especially people whose English is not their first language. So language, streamlining, getting rid of the rules and the regulations, making it easier to do business would help the Chinese community. So I agree. Traditionally, most people have always believed that the Liberal Party represents the small business owner. Labor, certainly not. Labor is doing everything to hurt small business. So I agree with how it used to be traditionally. But this is the first time small business has had a choice, because we now have a party that's dedicated to small business and only for small business. The difference is that the Liberal Party has to look after a lot of different people. Very big business, very big groups, not always the small business owner. The small business owner needs special care. So the light rail project started in Sydney in 2015. It's currently 2019 and it's still not finished. A lot of small businesses, nearly 2,000, have been impacted by the light rail project, and hundreds of residents have also had damage to their homes. So when this project started 3 years ago, it was very important to me to fight for the business community. A lot of businesses went bankrupt. Some of them have lost their homes and their families because it has hit them so hard. This was one of the projects that inspired me to start the Small Business Party, because this was a government project where they didn't look after the people that their project impacted because it's been so long. If this light rail project was being built in China, maybe 6 months. In Australia, it's gone nearly 4 years and still not finished. So the results that we got, we convinced the state government to provide already $22 million for 100 businesses. We've already started a class action, which is suing the government for $400 million. This is fully funded, so no small business is paying anything for this legal fight in court. And then, of course, we've managed to achieve even more